Welcome to today's Catholic Daily Readings from Christus Dominus Bread of Life. A reading from the second book of Samuel. Now it happened that after Saul died, David returned from the slaughter of Amalek, and he remained for 2 days at Ziklag. Then on the third day a man appeared, arriving from the camp of Saul, with his garments torn and dust sprinkled on his head. And when he came to David, he fell on his face, and he reverenced. And David said to him, "Where have you come from?" And he said to him, "I have fled from the camp of Israel." And David said to him, "What is the word that has happened? Reveal it to me." And he said, "The people have fled from the battle, and many of the people have fallen and died. Moreover, Saul and his son Jonathan have passed away." Then David, taking hold of his garments, tore them with all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening over Saul and over his son Jonathan, and over the people of the Lord and over the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. And he said, "The illustrious of Israel have been killed upon your mountains. How could the valiant have fallen?" Saul and Jonathan, worthy to be loved and stately in their life, even in death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, stronger than lions. O daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothed you with scarlet finery, who offered ornaments of gold for your adornment. How could the valiant have fallen in battle? How could Jonathan have been slain on the heights? I grieve over you, my brother Jonathan, exceedingly stately, and worthy to be loved above the love of women. As a mother loves her only son, so also did I love you. How could the robust have fallen, and the weapons of war have perished?
Alas, the glory has fallen on the heights. How can the warriors have fallen, beloved and cherished, separated neither in life nor in death, swifter than eagles, stronger than lions? Women, weep. How can the warriors have fallen in the thick of the battle, slain upon your heights? I grieve, I grieve. How can the warriors have fallen? The weapons of war have perished. Let us see. Shepherd of your people, hear us, guide the flock that wanders in the dark. From the throne of mercy shine forth, rouse your power and come to save us. Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved. Let us see your face, Lord, and we tears and given us tears to drink in full measure. You have left us to be fought over, left us to be mocked and torn apart, and we have no strength but this cry. Let us see your face, and we shall be saved. Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved. We do not ask for answers, only presence. We do not ask for comfort, only your face. Turn toward us, shine forth, come close, save us. Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved. Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved. Bread of tears, tears to drink. Let us see your face, and we shall be saved.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. And they went to a house, and the crowd gathered together again, so much so that they were not even able to eat bread. And when his own had heard of it, they went out to take hold of him, for they said, because he has gone mad. Join us for today's reflection. What do you do when the people closest to you think you have lost your mind? This is not a hypothetical question. Today's brief but startling gospel confronts us with a moment we rarely consider: Jesus' own family coming to restrain him because they have concluded he is insane. The Greek word Mark uses, existemi, suggests someone who has stepped outside themselves, who is mentally displaced. His relatives see the crowds, the chaos, the fact that he cannot even stop to eat, and they decide intervention is necessary. And this is the day the Church honors Saint Francis de Sales. Francis was born in 1567 to a noble family in Savoy. His father had grand plans: law, politics, a prestigious marriage. Francis earned his doctorate in law at Padua and had every door open to him. Then he walked away from it all to become a priest. His father was furious. By any worldly measure, Francis had thrown away everything. Shortly after ordination, he volunteered for what seemed like an impossible mission: winning back the Chablais region to Catholicism. This territory had been firmly Calvinist for decades, 60,000 souls lost to the Church. For 3 years, Francis trudged through alpine snows. Doors were slammed in his face. Rocks were thrown at him. His feet bled from frostbite as he tramped through the bitter winters. No one would listen. So he found another way. If they would not open their doors, he would slip his message underneath them. Francis began writing pamphlets, clear, gentle explanations of Catholic teaching, and distributing them throughout the region. This was one of the earliest uses of religious tracts in church history. By the time he left, an estimated 40,000 people had returned to the Catholic faith. The world called it madness. Francis called it love. This is the pattern we see across today's readings. David receives news that Saul and Jonathan have fallen in battle against the Philistines. Any reasonable person would have celebrated Saul's death. This was the man who had hunted David for years, who drove him from his home, who tried repeatedly to kill him. David had spent months living like an animal in caves and wildernesses, fleeing Saul's assassins. Now his persecutor was dead. Instead of celebration, David tears his garments. He weeps and fasts until evening. Then he composes one of the most beautiful laments in all of Scripture. How the mighty have fallen, Saul and Jonathan, beloved and pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions. Notice what David does not do. He does not rehearse Saul's sins. He does not remind anyone of the injustices he suffered. He does not offer a balanced assessment that acknowledges both Saul's good qualities and his failures. He simply mourns. He chooses to see what was beautiful and honor it without qualification. And then comes his tribute to Jonathan. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant have you been to me. Your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. This is not denial. David is not pretending that wounds do not exist. He is doing something far more radical, deciding that love will have the last word, that grace will define the relationship, even after death, that the image of God in another person is more real than their sins against us. The reasonable world calls this naive. The gospel calls it grace. Francis de Sales became Bishop of Geneva in 1602, though he could never actually live there. Geneva was controlled by Calvinists who would not admit Catholics, so Francis resided 20 miles south in Annecy. King Henry IV of France met him during a diplomatic mission and called him a rare bird, devout, learned, and a gentleman all at once, a very rare combination. His most famous work, Introduction to the Devout Life, revolutionized Catholic spirituality by insisting that holiness was not reserved for monks and nuns. The soldier, the merchant, the married woman, all were called to sanctity. This was considered shocking in his time. Holiness for ordinary people. It is an error, or rather a heresy, Francis wrote, to say devotion is incompatible with the life of a soldier, a tradesman, a prince, or a married woman. Here is what the world did not know. Francis had been born with a violent temper. He admitted it took him 20 years to conquer it through prayer and discipline, 20 years of daily struggle. But by the time people encountered him, they found only gentleness. He famously said, "A spoonful of honey attracts more flies than a barrelful of vinegar." His last word, whispered to a nun as he lay dying, was humility. The psalm today cries out, "Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved." The face of God is not what we expect. It is not the face of power asserting itself, or reason defending itself, or justice demanding its due. The face of God looks like Jesus, so consumed by compassion that he cannot stop to eat while his own family comes to drag him away. It looks like David weeping for his persecutor. It looks like Francis slipping pamphlets under doors in the frozen darkness, waiting with inexhaustible patience for hearts to open. You have fed us bread of tears, the psalm laments. You have made us drink tears in great measure. This is where both David and the psalm find themselves, in the midst of tears. David mourns his enemy. Israel mourns its devastation, and yet neither abandons hope. Let us see your face, Lord, and we shall be saved. The confidence is not that the tears will stop, but that God's face will appear through them. When his family came to restrain him, Jesus did not argue. He did not defend his sanity. He did not explain himself. He simply continued doing what love demanded. Later in Mark's Gospel, he would redefine family itself. Whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother. The world will always have categories for the behavior of saints: naive, unrealistic, mentally unwell. Francis de Sales understood this. He also understood that gentleness is not weakness. It is strength under perfect control. It is the refusal to let another person's hostility determine your response. It is the decision to see the image of God even in those who cannot see it in themselves. David could have written a different lament, one that celebrated his vindication, that pointed out how Saul's jealousy had led to his downfall. Instead, he chose to remember only what was good. He who preaches with love, Francis wrote centuries later, preaches effectively. Francis de Sales is the patron of writers and journalists. Pope Pius XI named him so in 1923, recognizing that his pamphlets had pioneered a new form of evangelization. But perhaps the deeper reason is this. Francis understood that words have power to wound or heal, and he chose healing every single time. He engaged opponents with respect. He never attacked persons, only errors. He trusted that truth spoken with love would find its way into hearts that seemed permanently closed. When the people around you think you have lost your mind, when your gentleness is mistaken for weakness, your forgiveness for foolishness, your faith for fantasy, remember that you are in good company. The Lord of the universe was once thought insane by his own family, and he responded not with arguments but with love that would not quit. Let us see your face, Lord. That is the face that saves.